Hey guys, what's up? This is False Bulls 123, and I think this is day I'm gonna guess 29, but do not quote me on that, okay? So I'm day 29 of the quarantine, and I'm still at my mom's place. I'm trying to do some paperwork, try to help her with the situation, and I'm trying my best. I do apologize if there's some noise in the background. My mom's listening to an audiobook, and I don't want to interrupt her just because that's super rude, but yeah, if this week isn't the best of the quarantine vlogs, I apologize. It's a lot of thin walls. It just isn't a lot to do, and I'm trying my best. So I did manage to deal with my I have this storage issue with my phone. I don't know if I mentioned it on the vlogs or not, but I figured it out. I just emptied out my trash can because there was 1,000 photos in there or something. I'm like, oh my fucking goodness, you did not hear that. So I didn't have the best story time today, but I thought I would just do it anyway, because I mean the only way I'm gonna get better at telling story times is having a couple fuck ups. And so I want to talk to you about audio recordings. And you're like, Ryan, why the fuck do we care? And I'm like, I have no idea, but you clicked on this video, so that's your problem. I'm trying to think. I when I I didn't have a phone that could actually record sounds or do anything except call people until I was out of high school actually. And I bought my first phone model was an LG Rebel Lite. It was the cheapest one you can buy at Walmart. Well, they don't have it anymore, but that's a story for a different time. And I realized that I could record things from it. So, like most people in the 90s, I may or may not have a small, very large obsession with Twin Peaks. And if you've ever seen Twin Peaks or The X-Files or any other show in the 90s, a lot of the big thing was people taking audio recordings with a cassette tag. And so, that was just sort of the aesthetic. Now, I'm an aesthetical fool, so I love shit like that. And so I would actually make a bunch of recordings on my phone. I would record people talking if I was having an important conversation. Fun fact, just for your knowledge, Oregon is a one-party wiretapping state. Just to let you know, funsies. Or I'd record myself singing, or if I was doing an interview, I'd record that and stuff like that. So I'd have all of these recordings. When I went off to college, I actually owned a honest-to-goodness mini cassette tape recorder. It was a Sony mini cassette recorder. I don't remember what brand, but if I find it and look it up, I'll post it right here. And I love the thing. It was super ratchet because essentially the back plate for the batteries had disappeared. And so how I basically fixed that was there was a piece of tinfoil wrapped around the bottom and then wrapped with electrician's tape. And so the recorder was this little MacGyver thing. You could still record it, it still had the perfect fidelity, but it just looked a little makeshift. And I loved it. I would keep the recorder in my car and I would do travelogues. So every time that before I went to college, every time I came home for break, I would usually do a recording. Sorry, I just want to make for a second I thought I wasn't recording, but I was. I would make a little recording and said hey, some stuff happened. This is how my trip is going. And I just did it for posterity because I like to record my life. And surprise, I started a YouTube channel, so it makes sense, It's a gateway drug. Anyway, I think it was my second year of college. I either lost it forever or it was stolen. And since I've cleaned that car inside and out, especially after I had to give her up, if you want to see me cry like a little baby, I definitely suggest watching my Letting Go video. And if I'm a smart bitch, I'll post it up there. If not, you'll just have to look it up. And I'll put a link down in the description as well. Because I cleaned up my car and if it was in there, we would have seen it by now. But I'm pretty sure the recorder was stolen. And so I did actually lose not only a really nice mini cassette recorder, but also all of my dictations, all of my recordings. I've also, done recordings from all of my phones. Some of these are like, just, a lot of them are basically me just singing. I love just singing out loud. And so sometimes, like, if I'm feeling some kind of way, I'll just, like, pop, like, hit the record button and be like, I got a ticket for the long way round, oh, with the prettiest of views. And then, like, I was, like, hit it up, I was doing it, and I'm thinking, wow, this sounds like shit. And then I never listened to it. Then, like, 5 years from now, I just, like, look at my 500 recordings on my phone, and I'm thinking, I should probably get rid of these. These aren't valuable. Let's see. Other things I've recorded is actually almost every single one of my songs in my bandcamp, and I'll put a description down below too, because I always got to plug my bandcamp, have been recorded with a phone recorder. The only one that was not was my Land of Milk and Honey. That song was actually recorded with my Blue Yeti microphone connected to my laptop. Everything else was recorded by a phone. So if you think that a phone doesn't have good enough fidelity, you're probably right, but it can record what you need it to. And so, this is, kind of a short vlog. It's not the longest. I didn't really have too much information to cover it. But I was trying to think of, just interesting things about my life. And I think my love for, audio recordings is probably one of them. So, I'm, always recording myself. For, all sorts of things. And it's just something that, I enjoy. I like to record myself when I make music so I can listen back to it. I record myself doing, funny voices if I'm trying to, do stuff like that. Oh, one other thing that I did record that was done with, my phone recorder, I wanted to do it with my Blue Yeti, but at the time I didn't have a cord for it, was actually my What's in the Greenhouse piece. On my Bandcamp, everything is a song except for What's in the Greenhouse, which is actually a voice-acted segment. And all of that was recorded on my phone. So if you hear me, and so I don't know, I don't really have anything else for this story time. I know it wasn't that good. I know I have the worst shaky cam right now, and I'm sorry, and I know you hate me, but it's just what I'm doing with my life. Anyway, guys, I had a decent amount of time telling this to you today, just living my life, enjoying ourselves, and I hope you had fun too. I know that I've been really bad with getting up my daily vlogs on time, but when the quarantine ends and everything's figured out, I'm going to have all of these up. We're going to have at least a month now of just daily vlogs, and I really hope you enjoy them. Because I put in, I'm not going to say efforts, it's not. I put in some amount of time making these for you. And so I hope you enjoy them regardless. Anyway, guys, as always, remember you can because first of all, that lets me know how I'm doing, and that lets lets YouTube know if I'm worthy of love and affection. You can always comment as well. Tell me, do you love Twin Peaks? I'm obsessed with it. Do you enjoy it? Are you too young to know what it is? And are you going to be watching it this quarantine? I want to hear from you. And lastly, just remember, as always, you can share. If you have a friend out there that wants to listen to some guy from Medford, Oregon talk about this mini cassette recorder that he had when he was 20, you need to send them here. Look at this face. They need that face in their lives. What you doing? Anyway, guys, I'm going to shut up now because I've been rambling for way too long. But as always, I just want you to know, this is False Bulls 123 and I'm signing out.